This is a 1936 AW. W is for wide front. There were just a few areas of the country that required wide front ends in the 30s, and one of those was California, is where a lot of my tractors came from. I bought this tractor by Merced, California. It was fairly rough, but mostly complete. And I bought this tractor would have been in the late 80s, and I restored it around 1990. Some of the things that are different on this than the early A's had a curtain in front of the radiator. You needed to warm the engine up in order to burn the tractor fuel or distillate, and so they had to cover the radiators to get that engine temperature up so that they would burn those low-cost fuels. So the early tractors had a curtain, but later on then they went to a shutter that was controlled by a lever back here. This is just the shaft has no support here. In 37, they put a little support right here to support that lever, because otherwise if the shutter wasn't working real good, that long rod would just bend out. The fan shaft now on the later A's is no longer exposed in here, and then they put a support bracket right up next to the fan. It was a little better design. They changed to the RV2B magneto, so it laid down. I think maybe part of the reason for that is you've got to take this cover off to get at the points. These were really hard to work on and not a real reliable mag. The 2B was probably a little bit better than the 2A was. The upper water pipe now is just the upper water pipe. It's no longer a fan support. And also on the early tractors, they had no heat gauge. You just, when it started steaming out of the radiator, you knew it was hot. Early housings did not have this boss, and obviously then they weren't drilled for the heat gauge. This is a California tractor. There were a lot of tractors listed as shipped less lugs when they went to California. There were manufacturers out there that made their own lugs rather than purchasing the ones from Deere. And this is one style. I have no idea who the manufacturer was or anything about them, but seeing tractors from California, you find a lot of unique wheel equipment, and this has these very rare California lugs. Most of us Midwesterners, or the old-timers, never realized that they had wide fronts this early, and they didn't make a lot of wide fronts. If you want something unique and interesting, that's the way to go.